Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to do the new and approved two-part addiction and recovery spread and recovery and addiction spread. So the A and R and the R and A, two sides of the coin. We will be looking at both sides, both Red Ski originals. As always, we are going to be doing for the January month, but we are going to bleed this one, my darlings, into February. So this will cover January and February of 2023 year, to give you some information and a bit of a leg up, as we are quite late in the piece in January now. Your next spread that I do for you guys will be live, and it will be in this current order. So this is a taste of what will be like moving forward, where you will both, those in the addiction stage and those in the stages of recovery, will have their messages more tailor-made for them. I'm doing this as requested by members who have emailed me through, who have wanted to see this, that have wanted a more tailor-made reading, especially when they have come to me for private readings in regards to these matters. I would like to thank them as well before we begin, as this would not have come to light if it was not for their support and their due diligence in contacting me and requesting this, and I'm so humbly honoured to be of service to bring this to you. So for January and February 2023 year, for any and all addictions and those in the state of recovery from those addictions, you will be in the part 2. We start with those in stages of addiction first, and then the second part is for those in stages of recovery, regardless of what stage you are, whether it's day 1, day dot, or day millionth. Okay, it is a Sunday here, guys. I am having a rest day, and I am a bit low on energy, I will admit. I've been trying to sort out some stuff going on with my house, and I'm exhausted, and my little boo she's playing with my hair ribbon. So let's begin February of 2023 year, addictions and recovery first, then recovery and those addictions. Okay, so we are going to start, ladies and gentlemen, with part 1, which of course is the addiction state of this period. Okay, so we are, as I said, doing January and February 2023. Please forgive me, just to the stage right of me, left of you, my children, they are doing some drawing, and I do try very hard to give them anonymity with my videos. Of course, you always hear them in the background playing around. It is school holidays here. I do try to time my videos when they're not around, but with the school holidays, I've at least always got 2 out of the 4 here all the time, and we'll have for the next 3 or 4 weeks. That's why the lives are being delayed until February month. Your March readings will be all live messages. So yeah, I'm just trying to reiterate that in these readings because everyone's a little bit confused. If I could go done these all live now, I would love to, but it's just too challenging with the children, and I want you to get your messages. And there is always a bit of a payoff between, you know, quality and quantity, but there's just nothing to be bought with there, unfortunately. Sorry, but let's do the messages now. So we are going to start with the addiction side. As I always do, give that spiel lovely to you. This is for any and all addictions. So we're talking about things such as sex addiction, drug addiction, gambling addiction, self-harm, such as cutting and things of that nature as well. We're talking about all the deep and dark recesses of all things that are addictive. Now, what is an addiction? Addiction is something we use and or do to alleviate suffering and or pain. So anything we use as a crutch to deal with pain, suffering, trauma, all that shadow that's within is what we're talking about today. Now, this is, of course, in the same format as what we've always done. It is, of course, gone through many alterations over the years. Twin 2, Shannon there. But it has stayed in its current format for quite some time now. It is, of course, the addictions and recovery spread, the A and spread, but today it is just the addictions side of it. It is the part A of the reading, so where we are looking at those that are active in addiction stages right now. So you are currently using these practices, you are currently trying to escape from that, put yourself in a position where you're able to start withdrawing from this behavior, etc., etc. You are very much still active in the addiction and or on the cusp of trying to stop. So this is less than 24 hours usually. And if you are in the stages of getting away from it, we are looking at the first 7 days. Okay, so this is for those, let me explain again, that are active in their addiction, are on the cusp of withdrawing from that addiction, or are within the first 7 days of withdrawal from that action and or addiction. Sorry about that. So I'll just reiterate for the third and final time, just so we are on the same page. Now, if this isn't what is for you, you will be the part 2, okay, which is the recovery stage, which is after that 7-day period leading on from there. Okay, so we are going to do the addiction side of the months of January and February 2023. Thank you again, everyone, for joining me. As always, I give the offer. I know there is a sense of anonymity needed to be with these readings, but if you need my help in any way and I can offer any sort of assistance, just write SOS on any single one of my start sign videos. And I will try my very best to find you and offer any assistance that I can to you in any way that I can. Thank you again, everyone, for joining me, for keeping this spread reading for as long as it has for all these years. You know, I am so proud of this, whether it resonates today for your reading or not. The fact that I've created it, and I feel like it's actually done now. That's in its 2-part series, which I can't wait to bring to you today. And let's begin. And even Hazy's come over to say good day. Hey, Haze. She wants to sit on your reading today, so I don't know if that's a good sign. The cat is on. The cat is on the reading. The cat is on the money, yeah, and that will be my songwriter. But that is okay because she has salvaged it. That was a little bit dicey-wicey for a second there. But it's okay because we've got it happening. It's in the bag. The cat's in the bag, out of the bag. It's all good. Here we go. All right, let's get serious now because we are dealing with serious issues here. It's not something to be played with. So let's look at this whole underlying energy. This is the undercurrent of what you'll be dealing with for the whole month of January and February of 2023. We do have the 4 of Cups reversed, and beneath that is the 6 of Swords reversed. The underlying current is not being able to make a choice here. And that's partly because every time we've been met at this crossroad, we have been unable to move forward, especially mentally. We've been unable to get beyond it, to get past it. The anxiety, the fear has always gripped us and enabled us to move forth with this. We've not been able to cross this river. The things that hold us, our swords, have been too weighty to be able to reach that, to be able to go beyond that, to be able to feel that. And with that knowledge, we do know that there is nothing we can choose at the moment that would bring pleasure or desire. That's why our cards are inverted. Because there is much work still here to be done. To be able to get to the point of picking a path and crossing that road. Or that river, should I say. Ladies and gentlemen. But there is much desire to do so. And the fact that you've got to this crossroad on multiple occasions, I think, is a testament to your true tenacity and strength within this situation. The other reason I say this, ladies and gentlemen, is because we do have quite a few wands here. We have the Page, we have the King, we have the 5 of Wands inverted next to the 5 of Swords, which I find extremely interesting because they're in a very, very pivotal point in this reading. We have some swords too, which I think is only justified considering there is much mental exertion and thought and planning that will go into this through this process. Now I'm going to give you the initial meanings of the placements of the cards as they are now. If I feel the need to clarify any particular position of these cards, I will do so as traveling through or at the end of the initial explanation of these card meanings. I do feel a little bit pulled at the moment to also get you some additionals at the end. If we do so, we will do so before the part 2. We start off with the current energy. You currently coming into this reading as you're watching this now. You're sporting the Page of Wands, referred to as my boy George card. Someone that is very flamboyant. Someone that has a lot of desire and passion. A bit of a youngling for your age or years. You're a very spirited person. But we are looking outside of ourselves for growth at this time. We're trying to cling hold of something that is going to give us some sort of desire or inspiration. Something that's going to help us really give us the need or the want to look for something that we can invest in here. I feel like we need to be looking inside of self. The growth is from within inside self that you are acquiring here. The next placement, because it bleeds in here in your obstacles, which is your next card, your challenges, your obstacles for this period, is the Knight of Pentacles reverse. This is a state of immobility in Rita. There is no movement here. We're on our head, and even if it was in its upright position, this Pentacle of Night, it would be slow moving, but it would be meaningful. We're in a state of Rita, we're in a bubble here, we're not moving, we're not putting any fruition or any force or anything to this. There is no movement here. Your emotions at this time is the King of Wands. So we are feeling like we're putting on quite a good facade here. That we are invested in what is needed, in what is meaningful, but we are very liked by the crowd at the moment. Good in our social circle, or when we decide to partake in it. But there is a bit of a sense here as it's all not as it claims to be. Clarify this King of Wands. King of Cups. Wow. You come across in the feelings like you are very emotionally invested and very desire-filled. Two Kings of Two Suits here. But I feel like your emotions are hidden and your true desires are not being met. Or it's all very surface level is what I want to say to you. The next position is your thoughts, what you're thinking, and I find that very interesting. The Eight of Swords reversed, the mind, is that of really not knowing what the reality is and the perception of the reality is. Not knowing what is what. Feeling very anxiety ridden, feeling like there are people against us, and I feel like some of these are actually reasonable fears. Five of Pentacles reverse. To clarify that, Eight of Swords reverse. The thoughts, we are trying to be hopeful and look forward, but we know that we are dealing with some real money problems here. Some real dissipation of Pentacle, and we are in some real sticky position, whether it's with security, financials itself, or even housing. Let's move to the next block of cards now. So what started this for you? What brought you down this road into this position? We have the Ten of Cups. You were in a real happy spot and things were really, really good. Maybe you just thought you'd be taking this fruit, or maybe you just thought that this would bring more happiness and more fulfillment to your lifestyle. But that's ultimately what brought you to start this road, was the fact you were very fulfilled, very happy, very connected here. How to overcome this? Sign of Virgo coming through here now, the Hermit. To overcome this, you need isolation and to be with self and to follow your own guidance, your own light, and to be your own stability, your own stave. To relinquish all possessions and external materialistic crap and to be one with self and to follow your own guidance through your own experience and to learn from this. Moving forward from that, your advice is the Nine of Swords reverse. Yes, there is much anxiety to be had here and much fear and worry about your loved ones, connections and people around you, but you need to start worrying about yourself and your own mental facilities. But yes, some of your anxieties and fears that you have in your mind are reasonable and are very much probably on point. The outcome firstly, and then the next to clarify. So the outcome is the Five of Swords. Clarifying that is the Five of Wands reverse, and clarifying further is the Nine of Pentacles reverse. In its current state of energy of what you're dealing with here, the outcome is set as this. But things can always change for January and February. There is much battle to be had here with the Five of Swords. I feel that if you keep going at it, that drive to be the victor will help push you through. But with the Five of Wands reverse coming behind that, this is not saying as you say as you do. You're too contradictory. You're saying all the right things, but you're not following through with action. And this is leading you to be foreseen as someone that is very rogue. Because the Nine of Pentacles reverse is someone that is not secure and has not got anything off their own back. They have swindled maybe, or they have used roguery or some sort of deceit or underhandedness to gain what they've got. And this is being foreseen quite blank and clearly as this outcome. We need to change our ways to get the better outcome. I want to see this card upright. And I want to see this card upright. Clarify further this outcome. Ten of Wands reverse. There are many burdens here. Many burdens that need to be released but are not getting released here because behaviors and attitudes are still very much stayed the same. Desires are still much the same. You have not changed your attitudes to get a different outcome. You're dancing around it and you're telling yourself that that would be the best option, but when it comes to the commitment of the action to put verbalization into current practice is completely lacking, and in fact is just non-existent almost. Sorry, I gotta call it like I see it, and I can't. The cards don't lie, babes. And that's what I foresee, and that's why the underlying energy is so underhanded with that Four of Cups reversed and so on. Additionals now for those in addiction stages and needing help during January and February 2023. Spirit animal to guide and assist, please. Okay, your card for the month of January and February, your spirit animal to guide and assist you is the peacock, and the undercurrent animal to guide and assist is the gorilla. Let's get the meanings now. Okay, let's continue with those messages now. The kids have actually just gone outside. So your spirit animal for the month is the peacock, firstly. Let yourself stand out and be noticed. It's time to step forward and stop hiding behind any of the facades that you've developed over the years. Although these personas have been highly adaptive and have helped you along the way, for which you can be grateful, there's more of you to express to the world, and it's ready to emerge. There's a certain safety and comfort in becoming inconspicuous and always staying in the background. Yet in playing it safe in this way, others don't have the opportunity to get to know who you really are, and you don't get to experience the richness and textures that are possible by participating more fully in life. By remaining in the background, you're not only alienating yourself from others, but often end up allowing others to choose for you. Doing so can make you feel like a passive victim of life. Being noticed does have some risks. People may criticize or judge you, particularly if they're not used to you asserting yourself in such a way. Or you may judge yourself, which can be an even harsher sentence. These are the most likely risks, but they're actually very minimal. So shed any guilt or shame about coming out with who you are. Wear more colourful clothing, sing, dance, and let others know your thoughts, feelings, and opinions. You can do so with grace, dignity, and enthusiasm, and you may even enjoy it. Like I said, my boy George cards with Page of Wands. The associations with Peacock are self-confidence, clairvoyance, sensitivity, healing, dignity, laughter, leadership, gracefulness, flamboyance, colourfulness, cheerfulness, radiance, and assertiveness. Attractiveness. But you can be assertive in that role as well, if you so choose to be, with gracious and poise. The underlying energy that you need to take in for the month, a spirit animal to help you, is the gorilla. The bond between family members can gradually decay and become stifled unless it's continually nourished with loving attention. And one of the simplest yet most elegant ways of showing the attention is to listen more compassionately to those you care about. Otherwise, you risk taking them for granted, assuming that they'll always be there and that they know that you are loving them. So take the time to have a conversation starting with relatively superficial topics, then move into more in-depth personal themes, adding your own tidbits, but primarily focusing on what the other person has to say. Show your spouse, partner, children, parents, or elders you love by listening and really hearing what they have to say and how they feel about what they think. This not only generates a deeper, more lasting affection between you and the other person, but far exceeds gibbling saying I love you with no real feeling behind it. People are constantly changing and evolving, adding new experiences and insights. Who someone is today while built on a foundation of core self changes and is continuously elaborating on that core self. Find the newness and freshness in those you love, which includes both your biological and marital families as well as your close friends with whom you have informally adopted as family. Associations with this card is intelligence, peacefulness, family, strength, nobility, generosity, gentleness, calmness, vegetarianism, loyalty, patience, dexterity, steadiness, scrutiny, and conservation. The peacock and the gorilla are your spirit animals to help you with addiction for the month of January and February 2023. Your ruin cards now. Your main themed ruin card for the months of January and February is Thor-Il Thor, meaning thorn or defense. This ruin represents a thorn, which itself symbolizes the importance of having protection or defense in your life. It does not indicate immediate attack, but rather that the need to protect yourself in case of attack. Perhaps you are unwillingly making yourself vulnerable in some way or taking dangerous shortcuts. Drawing this ruin could therefore be a reminder to take necessary precautions or to be alert to people who seek to take advantage of you. Unexpected change is also associated with this ruin, and that change can be a stroke of good fortune. This ruin is a warning to be alert to the possibility of something unexpected happening. Be watchful and take your time to consider all possible options. Another interpretation is that willpower is required. Don't allow emotions or precognitions to cloud your judgment, and to be sure to make decisions only based from a place of calm deliberation. Very interesting. The underlying energy ruin card to guide and assist you for January and February is Oth or Lo, meaning property or inheritance. onLy is the 24th and the final ruin card. It pays tribute to your family heritage, both the material possessions you have inherited and the attributes and traits that you were born with. When this ruin card appears in a reading, you are encouraged to think about your ancestors and your current family traditions, which influence and beliefs from your past, including your childhood, which have shaped your life and contributed to the person you are today. How far do these beliefs chime with your own? Do you feel there is conflict between what is expected of you and who you really want to be? Either way, this card calls for you to be true to who you are and to let go of the beliefs that don't feel in tune with anymore. What truly matters to you? An alternative reading of this ruin card is that you should research your family history to discover what the past can teach you about who you are and where you came from. That is very interesting. Very interesting indeed. The final piece of the pie is the angels to guide and assist you, my dear darlings who are suffering from addiction during the months of January and February 2023, and I do wish you all the very best of luck. First, we have number 9, the Angel of Clairvoyance. You have received this card because your Angel of Clairvoyance is here to remind you that you are a natural clairvoyant. Your gift has been awakened, and your Angel of Clairvoyance is ready to guide and teach you how to utilize and rediscover your ability. Pay attention to your dreams, daydreams, visions, and the symbols that cross your path during the day. Now is an ideal time to write down any repetitive images you receive from Spirit. The messages are given to you by your Angel of Clairvoyance to assist you in making connections to Spirit realm. The messages can come in the form of guidance, information, or from a loved one in spirit, a warning, or your angel may be sending you messages to help you assist another. If you have received the card, it is because it is time for you to work with your gift. We are all spiritual beings living an earthly experience. When you are born into this lifetime, you forget about your abilities and gifts prior to arriving on earth plane. Now is the time to reawaken your gift of clairvoyancy. You have probably been aware of your gift, but were not sure what to do with it. Let your angel clairvoyance work with you and assist you. The affirmation with this card is, I am ready to reawaken my gift of clairvoyance. I know that I am guided by my angel clairvoyancy to utilize my natural abilities. I see and understand the information that is shared with me from Spirit Realm. Final piece of pie for the month of January and February 2029. Thank you everyone so much for joining me. Is number 29, the Angel of Relationships. You have received this card because because you are worried about a relationship issue, and your angel of relationship has heard your call for assistance. When you are experiencing challenges regarding a relationship, you don't always have the clarity to see both sides of the situation. Your angel wants to assist you with understanding the reasons you are being challenged. Your angel is not here to judge either side of the conflict. She is here to guide and will allow you to access carefully in regards to this relationship. She will endeavor to show you the best possible outcome and to heal any situation. Your angel will never interfere with your relationship. She will only endeavor to create a bridge between the parties to achieve a positive outcome. If the issue is about a current relationship, ask your angel to show you if there is a chance of reconciliation of the situation. If your question is reigniting or healing a past relationship, it is important to ask your angel of relationship to assist you in achieving this desired outcome. A relationship between family members may be of great concern to you at this time. And if that is the case, ask your angel to help heal the situation and visualize the situation healed, and know in your heart that you've done everything humanly possible to assist in this positive outcome. If you're currently experiencing an issue with your children, visualize all parties are aware that you love them. Ask your angel to show your children that no matter what the issue they are experiencing with you or other members, that you are always with them and you will always love them unconditionally. Love has no boundaries, and your angel of relationship is here to show you how to share that belief with those you are currently experiencing challenges with. The affirmation for this card is as follows. I gracefully accept the help of my angel of relationships. I surrender this issue to my angel of relationships. I trust in her guidance and the love she shares with me and those in my life who are challenged at this present time. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me who are in the stages of addiction during the months of January and February 2023, or within the first 7 days of withdrawal and or recovery. Thank you so very much for joining me. I am going to snippet this one as part 1. It will be listed as such. This is the addiction side. But part 2 I will do on a separate video. So if you would also like to view that, please look for part 2, which will be released approximately 24 hours after you view this one. Thank you so much. From me, Redsky here at Righteous Rings, Raw Righteous Rule. I love you all, and I wish you all the very best through these stages and these challenges that you are facing during January and February 2023. Light and love to all. Blessed be.